I have a lot of drawings, and my drawings really developed over the time. I did a lot of experimenting with materials. I did a lot of experimenting with different kinds of paper, different kinds of crayons, different kinds of charcoal. And I would sit in Beijing, I would sit in Starbucks, a couple of different Starbucks. One was in Wanda Plaza, very kind of a business working people crowd. And the other one was just like 2 or 3 blocks away in a shopping center, and it really catered more toward very high end women's clothing, with one of the premium women's fashion places in Beijing. So in China, people in public kind of tend to be very curious. And so if I were to sit by a bus stop, it would be like a shark attack. People would want me to draw their picture. And sometimes I just have to get up and leave. And at the time, I'm thinking, like, I'm drawing in public. And so and I still consider I'm learning, I'm practicing, I'm pushing myself, experimenting. And so giving away the drawing is kind of the price of paying for a model. I felt I already kind of developed a flow and a skill of working and a technique and a way to compose my pictures and use of various materials. I really liked the way that I began to capture the mood and expression of some of the people. And so sometimes I'd see people obviously looking pretty frustrated with their business day, or they're gloating because they made a big sale. I like the way they look, and I think they're well designed. And if you like looking at artwork and you have an opinion about what I do, please let me know. I love to hear what somebody thinks about what I did, or how it made you feel, or the kind of emotion or vibe that you got out of it. So if you do that, please let me know. I would appreciate that. Here's some drawings from the Starbucks in Wanda Plaza. I call this one half of the conversation. This is a picture of my friend Wang Ting. I met her on her first day that she was working there, and she felt it was kind of an auspicious thing that I had met her on her first day. Had a teapot at my table. And there's a pair of legs, and I believe this is in Starbucks, where I'm sitting and waiting for people in line. It's kind of uncomfortable to look up at somebody when they're almost like right in your face, and so I would look down and I saw a lot of legs, and so I drew a lot of pictures of shoes and legs. We see the shape of people, we see their heads and their torsos, but it's very abstract, and it has to do with this me sitting on a table surrounded by people waiting to order their coffee. And one time these three Western jokers came in, and big shot attitude. Here's a picture of a girl who she's picking up her coffee, or she's ordering her coffee. And this is an interesting one. The person who I drew the picture of was looking worried. Now here's some drawings from a place in the Hutong. That's the area around the Forbidden City. One-story old Chinese style courtyards of houses. So I spent some time there. It was one of my favorite places to go. I would go there maybe once or twice a month and just do some drawing. This woman definitely looks intent. I like the tight, close crop I did on the face. And this is Kathy, kind of one of my buddies who liked to have me draw her picture. And so this is an example where I'm kind of developing a style or pushing something. Just a nice framing, the background. Along this street, there's a film academy. And so this girl, she's wearing the sunglasses. I called her the talent. And this fellow I call the director. He's wearing a director's hat. And you can see I have the big white space for the hat and the hand. Here's a second drawing in this series of the same person. And when I did a drawing the second time there, I intentionally didn't draw the box all the way around the outside. On the table, I left the open space. The coffee cup is in a way as a silhouette. It's shaded a little bit, but it kind of acts like a silhouette. And the top of the drawing has an open area. And here's another person that was in that group. She may have been the talent waiting for the crew to get set up. There's another drawing of the girl. And so this one has the open space. And this is the last one of this group, where I call this one the producer. I left the entire clothing in negative space. Left a lot of open space in it. I didn't overwork it, and this one I decided to leave lighter than I normally did. And here's an interesting collection where I was on a flight down to Hong Kong from Beijing, and I was doing a visa run. And I remember this gal because from my eye at a distance, but things still kind of got flat looking. This is one of the other ground crew in Hong Kong when I'm waiting for my flight. Now this is on the flight. The purser is being really nice to me and friendly and making sure I'm all taken care of. The last third of the flight, she gives me this performance survey. We're back in Beijing at the Shinkong Place Starbucks. This girl was sitting outside. This is another gal in Starbucks. That's usually a clue someone's posing for me when I get that straight on headshot. So this gal walked in. She had really bright lipstick on, and then I exaggerated it by giving her green eyes and kind of orange fiery looking hair. This woman was about ready to burst with her baby. I exaggerated the colors a little bit, but I kind of liked where this style was going. Two Mongolian women sitting next to me. And here's a little bit of playing with the color and build up a color in layers by going over it what ends up being kind of a cross-hatching form. And here's a picture of Wang Bei, another Jovi girl, and dressed in the black outfit and black hair, and the wall had that pattern on the black walls. Similar background. This one's probably structured a little bit better. And here's another example of the colors got pushed to the extreme. Too close to draw a full figure. And I could see her legs and I could see her face. And so I did this as two separate drawings. Now these drawings are all from Subway Line 10 in Beijing. It's a day in November and it's a Saturday. So most of these drawings are from a Saturday. A few are from a Sunday. And I'm riding the train. It's a big loop that goes around Beijing. On a cold day, just decided to sit in the subway and draw. This is an interesting drawing of a man reading, and then there's an atmospheric line lightning of the gal that's standing behind him. This guy I remember, and I made a note on the bottom, and he was insisting that I draw his picture, and he's making a big deal about it. He saw me drawing all these other people, and giving the drawings away. So as it happens, kind of a shark attack kind of scenario, he wanted me to draw his picture. Now here's an interesting picture, and definitely something that while I was drawing it, I saw one thing. Then later on, when I looked at it later, I saw something else. And this picture is interesting because there's the long hair of the gal. And then on the right, I could see like blue jeans on the right and the hair and the jacket. This is a case where do I leave it alone as it is or do I color it? Because this one, that light line, dark line, light line, there's an ambiguity there. And I'm worried that I would not be able to recreate that. Now here's an interesting character looking a little bit cartoony. The way that I built up the color I really like. And here's another one that kind of follows in that same cross-hatching layering of colors. Here's the last drawing in this group. It's this gal named Rosie. But you get to meet people and kind of find out their story. And that's part of the interesting thing about living there. And that's one of the interesting things that drawing has enabled me to do while I was living in China. So these are my drawings. And if you want to see more, go to garmandesignstudio.com.